What's up everyone, welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like and subscribe and then hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon. We're posting 4 videos every day, so make sure to check back every single day. We're aiming for 20k subscribers and get a deal in the description if you haven't already. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. What's up guys, so just before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe and bell icon. People aren't seeing our content and that's probably because you haven't hit the bell. Thank you again for all your support. We're so proud of the amazing community that we've built. So we're just taking a look at Vechain here, and as you can see, it does look as though we are getting that pump today that we did call for yesterday. We did say Ethereum is breaking out of the little mini range it's been in for a few weeks now, and it's showing a lot of strength, isn't it? And quite often when Ethereum shows a lot of strength, the altcoins do tend to follow a few days after. And that's what we said in yesterday's videos. And as you can see, it's pretty much, working out fairly perfectly, isn't it? Today we've seen Vechain have a really nice little pump. We could say, what is this? Around a 15% gain in just today alone, which is really, really good to see. And, there's a lot of people saying that Vechain's been doing something like this, where it's essentially forming some kind of bull flag like this. And it has, if that's the case, it has broken to the upside. And as we said, if this is the flagpole and this is your breakout target, then you're looking at, around a 21.5 cent Vechain if this was the case, and that would be the technical target if that was going on. But what we think is more likely is that, we're inside of this wider range, looking something like this, and then we formed a little mini range for cooling off for Vechain, haven't we, looking something like this. And we're just, currently range bound still, aren't we, for Vechain, but it's good to see that we're having a nice little pump and that Vechain's starting to follow suit with what Ethereum's doing. Because Ethereum is currently breaking out, it's broken out of its wider wedge for a start like this, and it was going sideways like this for a while, and now it's breaking out of this little mini range that it formed outside of resistance for Ethereum. And that's obviously good for altcoins because they are starting to move as well. And you can see Vechain here, it's basically been rolling over, consolidating, holding the 20 like a boss, by the way. Every time we lost the 20 here, we came back up above it, and now it looks as though we are finally bouncing up off the 20 as support here for that next little run up, which is really, really good to see, isn't it? You can see overall, Vechain recently, obviously it's been absolutely smashed down. We're still down an awful lot from the all-time high, around 53%. But we do think it's important to remember that, this has been a long corrective period, and we are showing a lot of signs of strength there. And once we see a lot of altcoins starting to break out of the range that they formed ever since May, we're going to start seeing a lot of upwards price movement in our opinion. And we do think we're not far away from this now with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a lot of other altcoins starting to break out of their ranges. It does look as though Vechain is lagging behind somewhat, but we do strongly think that, Vechain's a top project, especially for the long term. And we do think 50 cents to $1 this year is probably quite likely. Probably more than that, when you look at the fib extensions, etc. So we're just taking a look at, the situation for Vechain here. Obviously, we had the big downtrend that we saw. We always talk about it's a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, big downtrend. We obviously got the reversal here, higher high, and now we're really looking for that higher low, aren't we? And if we do get a pump out of here, I mean, you could say potentially that this is the higher low, although we haven't really rolled over at all, have we? We've basically just gone up, gone sideways, and then we'd probably go up again if that was the case. But we've cooled down on a lot of our metrics now. You can see obviously we've come back into more fair value on the RSI. We've actually come down a little bit on our histogram as well in terms of momentum. So it's good to see Vechain having a bit of a cool off for a few weeks after this big run up here, which is basically just all green candles, isn't it? Apart from this week or so of consolidation between our EMAs here. In reality, Vechain has essentially just been running up like an absolute beast, hasn't it? Which is really good to see. But obviously you want to see it making a bit of support as well. And it's good to see that we've gone sideways like this now, because it shows that basically we've made a good amount of support now to fall back on in the future. If we have a pump and then come back to this level, we can basically bounce off it as a previous level of structure and resistance flipped into support for the future. So it looks as though Vechain is making its way back up to the top of this mini range here. So we can start looking at some short-term price predictions now. You can quite clearly see the situation on the chart, and it looks as though with Vechain holding the 20 moving average here again, we'd expect this, if Vechain did roll over again, to act as support, doing something like this, slowly creeping its way to the upside. Obviously, we've got the 55 as well. If we did break down to the downside quite significantly, we've got the 55 coming up here with the bottom of the range. Very, very strong support in our opinion. But it looks as though the 20 has been holding as support for Vechain this whole time. So in reality, we would expect the 20 to hold because of this. And then basically going in, if we start to move to the upside and head to the top of the range here, start breaking out of this level. As we said, we have got this range high, over the overall range high around 15.5 cents. As a very strong level of resistance, we would expect to be our next price target. So, I mean, if we start pumping up here and heading out of both these resistances and retesting them as support, Vechain's going to be on an absolute journey, isn't it? In reality, if we break out of this retest as support, then we're realistically looking up for some really nice targets, aren't we? Probably 17.5, 18 cents, maybe even 19 cents as the next short-term price target to the upside, if we do start to see that. So those are our short-term price predictions. And as we always say, looking at our Fibonacci's here, going into the remainder of the bull run, if we head to the top of this channel that we've been trading in for a long time here, going into November, December, January time, you can see we're probably heading over $1 here, more like $1.52. So that's it, guys. We'd like to thank everyone so much for their support. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please leave them down below, and don't forget to subscribe and then hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon, to stay up to date with the 4 videos that we post every single day. Remember, if you want to support the channel more directly and get a ton of benefits and insight, as well as joining our growing community, consider the Patreon or YouTube membership down below. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto, so go check them all out below. There's plenty of goodness on offer. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.